Arjon Dunnewind. I'm the director of the Impakt Festival, the Impakt Foundation in Utrecht, the Netherlands. I will not say so much about Impakt and the festival, our organization, but I'll try to address this issue of third cultures and how I think art should relate to that. But still, I'm going to start with a little bit about Impakt and what we're doing. Impakt started in 1988 as a festival, an annual festival. But soon we also started doing other projects. And now we call this the Impakt events, monthly presentations, lectures, film screenings. There's a project called Impakt Online where we commission artworks made for the internet. And we support artists with a budget and technological advice and a platform where the works are presented. And most recently we added Impakt Works, which is a media lab residency program where we produce artworks, media artworks. For about 4 or 5 years now we're working in a model where the whole year, so that's the festival, the events, Impakt Online and the works, are centered around one theme. Matrix City was the theme in 2010, and it's dealt with how cities are becoming, of course, more and more important, like more than half of the world population nowadays lives in a city, but also how these cities are networks, logistic networks, supply of food, communication networks, energy, and how these are creative hubs, and how new media and urban architectures are merging. In 2011 we addressed the theme, the right to know, how in today's data society the right to access or to restrict access to information is becoming more and more important. And just 2 months ago with the Impakt Festival 2012, we addressed the theme No More Westerns, or how new economies like China, Brazil, India, Russia and Indonesia will become more and more important to global visual cultures. What kind of new genres, what kind of new iconographies and mythologies will we encounter coming from these new cultures? But now to go on with the topic of the symposium, of the festival, third culture. As I understood it, humanities was defined as the first culture and science the second, with social sciences being defined by C.P. Snow as the third culture. To this I would like to introduce a new paradigm. Paradigm that is maybe more common in the Netherlands than in other countries, but it's alpha, beta and gamma, with alpha sciences being languages, history, philosophy, music, culture, beta geography, biology, medics, etc., and gamma sociology, anthropology, economy, law, etc. This paradigm is of course very similar to the first, second and third culture one, but it allows us to separate art from science and to see art not as a part of the first, second and third culture paradigm or as part of the alpha, beta, gamma paradigm, but as a separate realm that must relate itself and respond to these sciences. Many festivals, maybe also Sonica with its third culture discussion, focus on art and technology. Mostly this means a focus on how art relates itself to beta science and how it relates to the second culture. I think that the interaction between arts and alpha and gamma science is equally, if not more important. And the potential in this third culture discussion lies mostly in the interaction between the arts and alpha and gamma sciences. Why do I want to see art in relation to alpha and gamma more than to beta? Beta sciences have progressed in a way that real development, innovation, comes with investments on a scale that go beyond the possibilities that artists have. Research into genetic engineering, biomedics, you name it, they demand budgets that are far beyond what an artist can, and also they require knowledge which goes much farther than artists can have to really engage with it. With the development of science and technology, examples from artists, inventors have become rare. Da Vinci, sure, but in the post-industrial era, both cultures seem to have developed along their own path. Some interesting collaborations between representatives, maybe, or scenes of which representatives of both cultures were part, but even that has become rare. Third, the focus on art and technology can result in tendencies towards technological gimmicks valuing form over function and visual appeal over content and relevance. The real potential lies not in the creation of new technologies, but in the analysis, development and critique of the interaction between existing technologies and the people that use it. This creates a shift from beta, where maybe most new technologies originate, to alpha and gamma, where these technologies have their effect. This notion lies at the core of Impakt, its mission and our projects. Impakt, our slogan, is critical media culture. We focus on the important issues in society, economic systems, ideas on democracy, the influence of media and the internet, globalization, etc. These issues are contemporary, topical, and part of the debate that goes beyond art. We analyze the way these issues are represented in the media, and we offer a platform for the presentation and production of creative, critical views from the arts on these topics to feed and enrich the public debate. We do so in the Impact Festival with the earlier mentioned themes of Metric City, the right to know, and No More Westerns as examples. But also important to mention in this respect is our event series, Things to Come. And I want to shortly address 3 of these events that we organized within the Things to Come series: Architectures of Exclusion, Tagging the City, and On or Off the Grid. Architectures of Exclusion question to what extent are interferences in the urban environment able to influence human behavior. This question has been topical ever since urban planning and development issues have come into being. The matter becomes even more pressing when urban planning is used to solve specific political dilemmas, or rather when architecture is at the root of such a dilemma. How can urban planning foster political inequality, and to what extent can algorithms or even concrete play a role in moral issues? This was the essence of the event, Architectures of Exclusion, with the slogan, "Let's control spatial and virtual politics," and we invited urban planners, architects, and new media artists. Tagging the City focused on today's cityscapes that are tagged not only with traditional graffiti out of a spray can, but also with what could be called digital graffiti technologies. RFID tags and photos on YouTube videos placed on Google Maps also mark and control virtual and physical territories. The big difference, however, is that these new media technologies are mostly used for entertainment and surveillance purposes and not for individual expression or political statements. With Tagging the City, we try to also give examples of artists that use that for individual expression or political statements. Things to Come, Honor of the Grid, dealt with the energy dilemma, the problem with natural resources running out, and possible alternatives that we could find to solve the energy problem. And we invited both speakers from science to reflect on that, new media artists that made an art project, a game that made people aware of how these issues develop and how we can influence them, and artists that made art projects in a more playful way to make people experience the dilemma. I will show, as long as time allows, so stop me whenever I'm running out of time, show a few projects that we have presented in the past or that I just find very inspiring in this realm. The Image Vulgarator by Julius von Bismarck, the advertiser, Julian Oliver, etc. I will go and show a few of these. Maybe Julius von Bismarck is a typical example of an artist that still has a little bit of an inventor. Well, this little exploded view of his most well-known art project, the image fulgurator, shows a little bit of his scientific inventor-like approach. And I will show a little video clip of this project.
Excuse me?
Yes.
You just took a picture of this sign?
Yeah, funny you ask because there's something on the sign that's in my picture, but it's not on the sign.
Can I see it, maybe? It's spooky.
It's not possible, actually. Unless it's a reflection or something.
Did you did this or what?
I will show you in a minute. This is the text that he projected. As you might have seen, it's Checkpoint Charlie, the future border between the East, communism, and the West. And maybe one of the most well-known iconographic borders in Europe. And he addressed a more current topic, the problems between the Mexican-US border, where lots of migrants try to go to America, by projecting for a split second this text on that bulletin board. But with the project, he also questions the credibility that we give to the media and to photographic devices, because what the image fulgurator actually does is project for a split second, the actual split second when people take a photograph, another image on top of the photographed surface. His image vulgarator is triggered by the flashlights of the people taking photographs. And he also used the device on Tiananmen Square to project a dove on the portrait of Mao, but also to project a cross when Barack Obama, before he became American president, gave a speech in Berlin to kind of respond to the almost messianistic religious atmosphere surrounding Obama. Or the O2 logo. O2, an important German mobile telephone provider. The O2 logo on the mayor of Berlin, who, in his opinion, had too strong bonds between the O2 company, gave too much privileges to the O2 company in Berlin. So he used the image vulgarator for, you could say, political activism, or at least to respond on things happening in Berlin. I could go on with showing a few other projects, or we can go on to the discussion. Sorry? One more. Then maybe The Artvertiser, a project by Julian Oliver, using augmented reality to address our media environment and to allow individual changes in this media environment. Well, as you can see, it still takes quite a big device to add your own personal augmented reality, but as we know, GPS technology developed very fast over the past 10 years into a consumer product. Maybe also this kind of augmented reality will become such a ubiquitous phenomena. I will briefly go over some projects without showing any videos, just to give the examples of the artists that I think we appreciate or we like. The Graffiti Research Lab with their LED throwies that you might know. Goran Savicic, Austrian artist, that translated the intensity of wireless signals into physical pain by the harness that you see here lying on the floor that he puts on, and the electromagnetic motors, machines respond to the intensity of the wireless network intensity in the city. Hey.org, French-German duo, and their project Nuage Vert, where they translate the energy consumption in a city in a laser projected green cloud on the cloud coming out of an energy plant, electricity plant in Helsinki and also in various other cities. And the green projection would increase when citizens of a certain city were more green in their consumption of energy. So either using less energy or using energy in a more environmentally friendly way. And Mediengruppe Bitnik, who are guests at the Impakt Festival 2 months ago, they had a project, Surveillance Chess, where they actually broke into surveillance networks with a mobile transmitter to encourage the people behind the camera, the guards, to engage in a game of chess with them. So this is my presentation. Thanks for your attention.